Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Some explosive screenshots to share with you today, some of which have never been seen before, supposedly, and where it came from may surprise you. But furthermore, I will be providing an update in response in regards to Alicia Lee, what she had to say just recently in response to a previous comment made on a Facebook page in the past to do with Caden Pressey's shoe, activities that took place Sunday, grass in shoelace, how it can be explained, and the deal with Noah and that mismatched shoe, how one ended up on him, etc. I want to tie it all in today, continue the theme and discussion because it is very important. Some people are saying it's becoming a bit of a debacle, but look, this is the thing. Even if it seems like we're creating more mess or going deep and it's just revealing more questions, less answers, at least it's shining light on the complexity of the case overall, but also the complexity of smaller, minor details which are really being dragged out. Like when you get a magnifying glass and highlight over it, it's creating a bigger picture and more depth to it. Now, maybe there shouldn't be that much depth and it should be quite simple. The fact that it's not raises a lot more questions and could point in a certain direction as the way the case is going, or at least maybe the outcome for Noah Presgrove more foul play. Who knows? You can share your thoughts down below in the comment section. At the end of watching this video, drop a comment down below. It will help with spreading awareness of the case and my video so more people can see. And I'll respond back when there is time. Also, if you want to catch up on recent coverage by me, top right corner, I symbol. You click there, you get the full playlist of all the videos that I've done on the case and some loose ones in regards to videos a couple of days ago. Be sure to catch up on them. You don't want to miss out. I am aware that YouTube and notifications aren't always sending, which is very unfortunate. All I can suggest is if you unsubscribe, then resubscribe and turn all notifications on. The only other little heads up is, if I upload more than 3 videos or post in one day, then YouTube will not send any more notifications out for a day or two. And that's done as a means of preventing like spam and constant videos. It's stupid because some people may have a lot to provide and post. Naturally, that would benefit YouTube, and yet YouTube are shooting themselves in the foot. That is why I don't go over the limit. Though sometimes I may have uploaded 5 or 6 videos in one day because it just needed to be done. I got punished, but what more can you do? It just has to be done at times. But nevertheless, trying to keep it small scale today, but in this one particular video, packing with a lot of material, trying to understand it. This will be a raw reading session, understanding what's really going on with different people's opinions of one another and talk in the background about others and the community or case. Some could be shocking, other bits could be drama, conflict, who knows? But once again, it's also important to document and archive because you never know what will happen next or who may change next. So I do advise you to stick around for the full context, just like with the context of what's behind me over my shoulder. You know, an interesting live stream occurred recently. Be sure to check that out on my channel. It's in the live tab mode on my channel page. But some people were inquiring about a cowboy or two or some tombstones here and there. Saw a little clip, saw the guy's dodgy mustachio, came out of nowhere. A little bit questionable, I'll be honest with you. But in terms of that particular line, well, we'll be referring to that later. Whether Cleo wants riding sessions, or if Brooke Bounds Carter's going to show me the broke back matrix of riding a bull with a nose ring in between the mouth, I don't know. Or if Beauty Garumo is going to apply some beauty makeup upon her face to transform herself into a horse. Don't know how, but I'm sure it's possible. Transition effects, and on top of that, maybe paint a picture as well, and apply some 24/7 makeup protection on my face so there's no stains. There's a lot going on, but we'll all get to it and we'll reach ahead by the end of this video. Just stick about. For the meantime, though, we need to focus, lock in with the Noah Presgrove case. And for those that are currently watching this live premiere, welcome. And for those, welcome back. Share your reactions and thoughts in the live chat on the right-hand side of the screen. And what I do want to say is, if you are interested, if you want to support the channel, but you don't want greedy YouTube taking most of it away, whether that be a super chat, super sticker, there are alternative ways down below in the pinned message in the comment section at the top by me with additional links, for example, PayPal, if you want to follow through that. Big shout out to those that have just done so recently. You know who you are, and as of early hours of the morning or last night, you know who you are. Big shout out to them. If you wonder why I don't mention names or directly respond back, that's just because of privacy, you know, just to be safe. But yeah, shout out to those. But what I can say is publicly, shout out to Peace in Christ for their support on the channel via the live chat last night. It was good to see them come back. Also, a couple of people popping in here or there from the past, whether that be Matt Lingo or Dale or What's Your Crazy, or I think a person called Melissa or Melissa, maybe I get mixed up at times. People just randomly pop in. Those from 2022. It's a bit of a surprise and it's positive at times. So that's all good there. And I think there was Inky as well. But with that all acknowledged, I do need to mention like a little disclaimer that what material that we're looking at today, the order of how it will be done is, first of all, we take a brief look at Alicia's comment, what she said in response to last night's video and deleted comment. Then what another individual had to say or had said previously, and trying to work it out, find that middle ground, maintain a bit of balance and understanding, because it can go at one extreme to another. Oh, it's been deleted, been silenced, or oh, it's been deleted because they're trying to cover up something. Different sides will interpret it in different extreme ways. I'm here to look at it in between, understand what Alicia is getting at, understand what Robbie or some other people are getting at in between, find a middle factor, because there is a chance that there is one. So that's what we'll do first, just to address that. Because I did say, if anything does go wrong, or if there are problems along the way and somebody reaches out or leaves a comment on behalf of them or a current issue, then a future video, an update video, can be done immediately just to clear stuff up. So that's what I can do today. And then after that, we'll move on to the never seen before screenshots and text conversations, which could be considered shocking to some people. And the disclaimer being, and I'll probably reiterate it later on in this video, what I have has not been handed over by the dark side, not at all, okay? Because in recent time, people have been saying, yeah, some material, some snaps by the dark side, it's all evil, manipulative, cotton wool pulled over Warlight Ref's eyes, Warlight Ref receiving $20 handouts here and there, hair as well, eyelashes as well, a slap around the face, and anything else in between. No. This time round, what I have, it's from the light side. It's from the right side, as some people would call it. That could come across as a shock to some people, that within the light side, there are those that want to try and spread awareness on certain issues and then kind of like reach out to me in some way. And then I'll take a look, but I'll give my honest thoughts and reaction. And before we go any further, just as a brief little heads up, you might be wondering, what's that over there? It's the horse. Just so happens that the horse has stolen Brooke Bounds Carter's cowboy hat. And I know some people will say, y'all, that ain't no proper cowboy hat, man. I got a proper one back here. You gotta come and collect it, mister. Well, no. That is a proper cowboy hat, to my knowledge. Well, at least to the horse's knowledge. The horse believes it's a real cowboy hat. And what? It came from Brooke Bounds Carter's stable? Yeah. Sorry, Brooke, I know. But whilst the horse may have stolen the hat, why is the horse here? Is it because I stole Brooke Bound Carter's horse? Oh no, that's going to trigger a wave of drama, conflict from across the world on Facebook. It's probably also going to turn on Impetuous People Like Me channel, also known as Intelligent People Hate Me. Probably going to do a deep dive there and try and work out and think, oh my God, that horse over there, secret identity, the real identity and name of that horse is George Choden. Oh, goodness gracious me. It's got DNA of, I don't know, bullshit going about. Anyway, we'll get to that later and some more details. Let's just start off with focusing on the case at hand. Here it is, Alicia responding back to the video from last night. We could possibly follow it up with looking at the additional comments later on in this video. Take in mind though, additional ones may follow which may not be caught on camera when recording at the time. I do try and explain that over and over, but people don't always listen. But when Alicia responded at the time, she said, "I did not delete this comment. I'm not in the Facebook groups anymore, but it was not deleted." Right, so that's interesting by Alicia. So she didn't delete the comment, but supposedly the comment is no longer there from what other people claim. So what's really going on? Alicia saying, "I'm not in those Facebook groups anymore." So more than one group Alicia has walked away from. Now, which groups would they be? Sofa Sleuth page? Would it be case discussion group? Would it be the army page? Is Alicia a part of any Facebook groups that are left out there? Maybe the justice one? If you want to add a bit of context down below, you can do so. Would there be a reason for Alicia to even delete her comment? Not really. If you're just sharing your thoughts, opinions on what you think is the case, shouldn't be a problem. I mean, if you were talking about timestamps, a timeline on behalf of Caden or somebody else, and it was deleted afterwards, I can imagine some people could scratch their heads and think, I wonder why. But moving on to the next slide, all this is a part of the common thread when, I guess, responding back to Alicia. And it highlights, I believe from the person's point of view, possibly Robbie or somebody else, that possibly Alicia either had left the group around the time or afterwards, or someone was blocked. Depends how you interpret it. So I'll just read what's on screen right now. It might not be as relevant, but we'll just acknowledge it. Jalen, to Andrea Jubrov. I actually looked that up a couple of weeks ago. A particular strip of highway is 24 feet wide. Particular area has about 3 foot of shoulder on each side. Centre line would be 12 feet from the white shoulder line. So if they were in the centre of the road parallel to his body, it would be 12 feet. But if it was either north, south, it could be more. Robbie Taylor responds back to Alicia Lee. "Thanks for confirming Caden had grass in it before he took it off for the night. Since Noah was doing the same activities as Caden, you'd assume that, or interpret or imply that if Caden was to get out walking about along the field, across the field, maybe Noah may have done the same thing, hence grass in the shoelace, hence why Caden had grass in shoelace, both shoes, one of which ended up on Noah later, and Alicia believes that it was put on Noah, interpreted as, from my point of view, a form of foul play, but not put back on, put on for the first time or so. There'll be some additional responses by Alicia later, so be sure to stick about. But whether this is because Alicia may have blocked certain people, and if not that, if it's to do with her leaving the group, normally when you respond back to someone, it will show up in bold text, dark black and thicker font. That's not the case here. Other times, if you had someone that was a part of a group and you tagged them, if they're no longer a part of the group, the name will show up, but there'll be like a circle next to the name with one line going through it, like a cross. And I think that means that they're no longer part of the group, or they've been kicked, or they've been blocked. I've seen it sometimes in the past where someone tried tagging a family member of Noah's family. Someone tried tagging partners in true crime, but because they weren't a part of a certain group page, they couldn't be tagged properly. No notification would be sent to the individual out there, I believe. So it just comes up with like the name with a cross next to it. If a person is a part of the group or page on Facebook and they're tagged, it'll be in bold, it'll be like highlighted, and the person will be notified. It's kind of like on YouTube. If you was to mention me, tag me with my proper name, more so the tag handle, what you see under the username or next to the username, the @ symbol, you're directly responding back to me. and because the name's been verified and coming up when the search terms appear, then if you say a message to me, more so in the live chat, there'll be like an orange box that will show because it's a direct response to me. Whereas if someone did the @ symbol, typed my name next to it, it's probably not going to work. So it's just going to be like default text and it won't be bold. So that can apply in different ways there. When you mention someone, if they're present, if they've got access to the page or area, they'll be mentioned, they'll be notified. And if they're not, well, it'll just come up like default text. If you've blocked someone or if someone has blocked you, well, then maybe it's the same thing there. We'll get to that later. But in terms of the situation with Alicia, okay, she may have left the groups, but by leaving a group page, does it automatically mean everyone's comments are lost? I don't know personally. There could be a chance. I do remember in the past where there was people responding back to somebody's name on Facebook, but I could not see the person's name or their own comments. But it wasn't because I was blocked. It was because they had it restricted as to who can view their profile and messages. It's like a private account of some sort. All kinds of, ins and outs with Facebook and adjustments that can be made to prevent people from seeing stuff, to allow others to see more. And it's like with photos as well. You go on Facebook, you go on people's profiles, they've got like 5, 6, 10, 14,000 photos. And I'm like, wow. But then they've only got 2 public viewable ones, because the rest are a hidden album. There's a lot of possibilities on Facebook. I just feel that if somebody was to leave a page, the comments shouldn't be deleted. And if they were, well, then that would be stupid in terms of Facebook, because when it comes to archiving or getting receipts, it would be impossible, wouldn't it, if you used to try and look back and do your research. So if it's not that, could it simply be that the odd individual that may have been blocked by Alicia can no longer see Alicia's comments? That's another possibility. But nevertheless, I just wanted to show you what Alicia had to say from her point of view. Now, if we move on to these different text conversations and responses in general, supposedly shit has gone down. Not quite sure why it is, but we're going to read it. The quality isn't great. It's dodgy, but I can just about read it. I had to edit the screenshot as in the sharpness to make it a little bit clearer to read the text. That's all I've done. A conversation by somebody and their point of view communicating with Pam Feldman Garrison. We've heard of Pam before in the past. I think Justin Roy has made a reference to Pam as well, because she's supposedly a part of the Sofa Sleuth page, but also a part of either the Army and the case discussion page. Some people with time would have had called out Pam and said she's a snake in the grass. Not me, but I've seen other people kind of like interpret it that way. But anyway, some individual says, interview wasn't hacked or leaked. Right, this is a conversation at some point in regards to Alicia, Caden Pressey, the situation with Caden's private police recorded interview of 2024 becoming publicly viewable, and the argument, debate of was it hacked or was it leaked? One or the other. And this person says the interview wasn't hacked. Oh wait, it says wasn't hacked or leaked. Weird. Alicia sent it out. I even had a lady message me and said Alicia messaged her. What does that say? Declaring or blaming her for it. And Alicia had never sent it to her. Alicia came back and told her she found it's who had forwarded the interview on. So they're putting that out as lies again. Right. If it's not hacked and it's not leaked, then what? It's just public. It just sounds a bit silly, that. I still interpret it as it was leaked. Maybe Alicia did pass it on to some people or to some individuals she trusted. They stabbed her in the back, then either leaked it or passed it on to another individual and so on, and then it was leaked. If it was along the lines of, hey, we've got a private bit of material here, we don't want it being revealed public, but we're going to share it just with you in private, in confidence, because we trust you and we want you to learn as well, but just don't release it public. And on the basis that if it was, which it seems likely, it would have been leaked, not hacked. When something is hacked is when you don't have access or entry to something and you're not welcome in. So you gain access another way, like the backdoor approach, hacking in whilst they are completely unaware. Once it's been hacked, then if you do decide to reveal the stuff public, it's then leaked. Hacked iCloud photos of celebrities, then leaked online, revealed to the public. So there is a process to it. Something can be both hacked and then leaked. Leaked is the action of revealing it to the public. Hacked is the act of gaining access to private material. But something can be leaked without it being hacked, as in person in the background, private, who's got the material, passes it onto you in confidence, and then you disrespect their wishes and then leak it public. That's how it goes about. But what's Pam's response? Oh, I know it was leaked because of her. What? Alicia leaked Caden's interview. I'm just entertaining them that I might actually believe they were hacked or dirty LE so that I don't get kicked out of the case discussion page, with a laughing, crying emoji. Person responds back with, laughing my effing ass off. Nice. Then Pam says, we could F that lying bitch up 10 different ways to Sunday by laying everything we collectively have out there. But doing a little at a time makes her squirm, and she deserves it for what she has put all these other kids through. Her, but not her son. Oh shit. Poor kid Caden is a damn pawn. He can't remember shit because his mama is the one that took over his Facebook page from day one. Everything he has said on Facebook has come from her. Wow. So, it's important to look at this, isn't it? Because then it provides context, shows it from different points of view, but then also Alicia or Caden Pressey gets to see it as well. They might already be aware of this, but you know, you got to look at it from all sides and perspectives. So when Pam says we could F that bitch up, Pam is referring to Alicia Lee there. Okay? Makes a squirm. That Alicia deserves it for what she has put all the other kids through. What has Alicia done to the other kids? What, threatening behaviour, blaming, false claims made? Can anyone give examples? And as for Caden Pressey, it's been interpreted here that he's caught in the middle of it all like a vulnerable person, and he's been played around by all kinds of individuals, including those closest to him. That's how it's been interpreted here, and that Caden's Facebook account is in control by Alicia and not Caden himself. But I do remember Caden saying in one of the interviews, public or private, about how he did at some point make a Facebook post public. Actually, to be honest, I don't think it was in one of the interviews. It was actually more so in that leaked video phone call recording of Caden on vacation in 2024, before one of the interviews, maybe the police private recorded one, where they're on vacation, Caden's in the back seat. It's documented on my channel, by the way. Caden's first time interaction with Trooper, is it Trooper or Officer Anthony, is it Anthony, what's his name? Anthony Linares or something, Anthony. First time round, influenced by Justin Roy in the background, supposedly, as it's been claimed. And Caden mentioned to Anthony that, oh yeah, I'm communicating with you, but you know, one thing I had done is make a public Facebook post just to spread some awareness at least. And I think Anthony may have acknowledged that directly or briefly agreed, because they said that they've been checking the Facebook pages and posts, such as by Caden, and some other stuff here and there. To my memory, I think that's how it was worded. So, and Caden said he did it himself. He typed it out. But as it's been worded here, supposedly it was Alicia doing it all along. But do we have proof? Do we have solid proof of what Alicia has done and typing up post on Facebook from Caden's account? What else do we have? Pam says, so he's trying to memorize everything she's written. No wonder he can't remember when he, graduated. His mom has him in home since every day or something. All I would say is, and I wish it wouldn't do that. I hate it when it does that. All I would say is, in terms of the Partners in True Crime interview, there were a lot of jump cuts and editing. Whether that be because it was an emotional moment I could understand or breaking down. But I did hear a lot of voices in the background. Now, Brooke Bounds-Carter said she counted 16 times Alicia cutting in and telling Caden Pressey stuff. I didn't count personally, but I do remember hearing some voices and talking in the background because Alicia was nearby. That can just be for support, comfort, I understand that, but was Alicia finishing some of Caden's lines, sentences, or giving him a prompt in regards to trying to remember a certain event? Now, I do believe Alicia had said at some point in the past that what she knows of and what she can remember fairly well is from what Caden had said in the early days and reciting it all. So being there just to remind Caden of what he once said or believed, I kind of get that. But then at the same time, some people would use it as a criticism and say that secondary influence and effect could be harming Caden's when reciting what went on. Depends what way you look at it. So it's not looking good already in response to calling out Alicia there. It's quite shocking. Now we move on to some other conversation to do with Jan Fiorillo and someone. Jan says, okay, what the F are you doing discussing this on social platforms with the likes of Robbie Taylor? Someone responds with, some people go ask your minions, or like I suggested earlier, if you want exact packs, I suggest you reach out to Anthony or Ross. Or if you're not happy with that suggestion, you can always reach out to their supervisors. You might also reach out to Trooper Wright and inform him on what Shannon Sullivan, will it say on the next page or not? You might also reach out to Trooper Wright and inform him on what Shannon has told you. Right, what's this all about? Jan says, oh, you mean this one? What does this one mean? Appears to be some kind of screenshot of a Facebook Messenger group chat. Yeah, a Facebook Messenger group chat. And as for who was within that group chat, it looks like someone called Jamie, a person possibly called Joyce, maybe Alicia. Is that Justin and somebody else? It's really hard to read the text, but I can make it out. So on the reaction part of a particular comment, Alicia Lee had responded. I know you can't see it, but I can because I've got good eyesight. Alicia Lee reacted to a particular comment in a Facebook Messenger group chat with exclamation marks. And then I think Shannon Scott, it's not going to be Shannon Sullivan because that last name's too short. It looks like Shannon Scott, who's supposedly friends with Alicia or was, has reacted with a love heart. And then a person called Jamie, is that Jamie Emery or Jamie something? Interesting what's going on here, right? There we go. So Jan appeared to be confirming in regards to the person saying you should reach out to the trooper on what Shannon had told you, and they're just confirming the correct Shannon. Then the add-on by saying, one of many in a lot of pain. Please tell your group if they're going wake up with BS. Whatever that's about. Then Jan says, George Choden is not Caleb Newton. Even Caleb is not that perverted. Wait, what's George done that's considered perverted? What are you talking about? Jan says, was going through my hundreds of messages request and saw your name and where you had previously DM'd me. I can't possibly reply to all of the Facebook people who have DM'd me. I was just replying to the message that you had sent. Right. Oh, God. We've got a long one here. I'm going to try and zoom in if I can. Okay. What some of you may not understand, Becca. Oh, is Becca. So the point of view of Becca, in this screenshot at least, and Jan's responding back to Rebecca or Becca Gagliari. I think that's how you say the name. What some of you may not understand, Becca, the lies, smear campaigns, threats started against me the day my offer was announced. What started out as the Terrell, Ryan, Warika and Comanche clans, who people in our community know to be liars, then evolved into those same people creating multiple profiles, each to create the appearance of many more voices. The lies they originally began didn't get that much traction until now. I have seen the DMs where they work on these communities in their attempts to whip up a mob. Oh no whipping, oh boy. Believe me or not, but they know I am a threat and why they focus to discredit me. They have managed to fool some people I didn't think could be fooled, which has now forced me to file multiple defamation suits. This is my community. After I semi-retired, I have dedicated the last 9 years of my life in full-time volunteer service to multiple charitable causes in this community, to which I help raise a lot of money and work to facilitate special programs. Moving on to the next one. Oops. It's doing it again where if I click in and out, it'll... Let's try. Continuing on, in which causes and community to which I help raise a lot of money and work to facilitate special programs. I am not a perfect human, but my reputation matters and how I've been effective in helping our community, and why I have to defend the lies and mischaracterizations of me. People trust me because I've built that trust over decades. This is more than Noah's cause, to which I'm deeply invested in, and will see it through no matter how much time and resources that it requires. And I've never nor will I do anything without Noah's family's consent. Fair enough. You can choose to believe whomever you wish, that is your prerogative, but at least you have heard a little from someone who you are helping in the clan's attempt to destroy my reputation and credibility. If I'm seeming short these days, it's because I'm fed up with the months and months of this nonsense and behaviours from all the self-proclaimed I'm here for justice for Noah members, and so is his family. Once again, we're hearing references, key words such as the clans. The clans in what? Warika, Comanche. Did it mention it further up, or was it on the previous page? Yeah, the ones who started out as the Terrell, Ryan, Warika and Comanche clans of people in our community to be liars, and then evolving online, creating other profiles, fake ones. Right, so is that references people being called out from the dark side? No direct names mentioned at this moment. And then what do we have here? January the 8th at 4:32 p.m, I'm guessing January the 8th of 2024, Jan unsent a message. What are you talking about? Unsent message. Thanks. Don't even remember sending that, remember. Unsent message. And then it says, wish you the best, Becca, January 10th. This person is unavailable on Messenger. Right, so Becca's point of view screenshots was this one, and at least this one. I don't know about that one, if it's Becca or not. I'm not too sure. But the reason why it looks the way it does is because supposedly Jan Fiorillo had blocked Becca Gagliari, if that ties in line with the messages being unsent as well, or they were just literally deleted and removed. But why did Jan Fiorillo block Becca? Is it because Becca is being interpreted by Jan as being on the wrong side, the dark side, or not believing in Jan? Jan protecting herself? Seems a bit messy, but just presenting it to you with what's available, and that appears to be it there. Let's just at least check up on YouTube and see the comments there, and Alicia's as well. I'll just transition over to the newest comments. And once again, I'd just like to say that it is quite active, the comment section on this particular video from last night, and there are some additional responses by Alicia, Robbie, maybe Justin. I'm going to read what's currently available. Hours later, when this video premieres, there might be some comments which are not included in the video because those comments were posted after I recorded this video. There's nothing I can do about it. But if it's that important, I can do a follow-up. So, Teresa, first of all, should shoe was placed in case hit and run, lie did not work to make the fall guy Caden, that's why he was not interviewed with the rest in a timely manner, perhaps unconfirmed, my opinion. Other Dutton, it's all MSUAYG, what the hell's that? In my opinion, making shit up as you go along. Oh, there we go, that's a good abbreviation. They simply ran out of lies, says Beth. So now they're going with that as they aren't the smartest in the tool shed to have that far ahead. They were in panic mode to get him off that property, know himself, and grabbing what their pea brains could get at the time and then made a second trip, in my opinion. I agree. Based on how slow and basic they speak, I think it's just a slower developmental part of the country, especially these kids. And that's by John. Not good with acronyms. So Carl, the acronym of that is actually mentioned by Dutton underneath, making sheet up as you go along. That's what it basically means. Right. If my opinion is wrong, would love to see someone rule it out. Save me the BS hit and run theory. Common sense says no, so does the experts. Lizzie, exactly. It wasn't a hit and run. I'm not as well knowledgeable in this case, but I know it wasn't a hit and run. CC, exactly. John, the IQ level of many of the folks involved here seem to be limited to guns, trucks, drinking, so without cops out, this would have been a walk in the park case with a few key things done up front. AJ Williams says, no, experts have ruled out a standard hit and run. They have not ruled out a typical hit and run and or an incident involving a vehicle such as falling out. I mean, yes, I was aware early on in the case, to my knowledge, and how I interpreted it was a hit and run ruled out, but in some kind of vehicular-based accident, well then, more to it. And to be honest, I'm actually surprised AJ Williams, with their knowledge, referring it to as an incident. Because, to be honest, the term incident and accident, they can mean different things. And apologies if I've got this mixed up, but I'm sure an accident is when there is damage done to property, items, and or a person. And an incident is when no real damage or harm's truly done, which could be like a rollover incident. But Jack called it an accident, the rollover, side by side. And from what Caden had said about Noah having a bloodied nose, from what he was showing a photo or screenshot of a video, well then, it would be more so an accident. And as for Noah Presgrove's actual outcome of a vehicular-based death, possibly, it's not exactly an incident, it's more an accident. Anyway. But I've never heard it worded as about not ruled out a typical hit and run. Not heard it that way before. Anyway. Now, this wouldn't have been a walk in the park case regardless. In response, Johnnery, if they secured the house by 7 a.m. or at least went there as part of the investigation, it would have yielded more first-hand, fresher information from partygoers, recollection of stories, I understand, and data from the hours leading up to what was obviously not a vehicle striking him, Jack must have told the Ellie a brief backstory leading up to the suspicious death about the party house. And I don't care what they tell you, that house is immediately subject for at least questioning, and cops, corrupt or not, needed to be dispatched there to get some basic questions answered. The hit and run was a stall tactic so they could avoid needing to get real answers off the bat. Interesting way of looking at it. No offence, AJ, but every day people had already ruled out a hit and run as well. Johnny says, okay, and his best friend was right there, coming from the same location no Presgrave was just at. So maybe go back to that location and see if anyone left with him in a pickup, or if anyone had truck that left or who may have taken him. These are his friends, right? Ellie should have asked basic questions to obvious people that me, a pot-smoking art school grad, would have thought to do so. AJ responds, they can only do what law allows, and there were not grounds for them to secure the house. A standard hit and run was ruled out by an atypical vehicle event, has not been, nor is a vehicle-involved event such as falling from a vehicle being ruled out. Everyday people do not have the training and expertise to accurately determine such. But then again, there's other times where everyday people can do a lot more than what the experts can. And I'm not talking about true crime. I'm not talking about police-related stuff. I'm talking about to the level of psychologist and therapist. I'm not a qualified one, yet from what I have done, what I have interpreted with humans with time, what I've picked up on, how I have adjusted and helped certain situations, I've done a lot more than what from fucking qualified people can do who are completely incompetent out there from what I've heard of and seen with time. It's absolutely embarrassing. In regards to this particular case, though, in terms of common sense and possible ideas and theories, there might be some everyday people that might actually be correct in what they believe in and what they state as a theory, concept, what could have been the outcome for Noah. Give or take some time, if it's ever solved or evidence does come out, people could have been on the right track from day one. There's always that chance someone out there could be right in what they believe in. Authorities did do that the next day when they gathered the party goes together and questioned them and took the statements. So Jack tells the cops, I'm coming from the same home where his mangled, beaten child is laying, and I'm his best friend to go fishing or whatever, and there is no attempt to at least roll up to that house that morning. Come on. You can easily get legal grounds for that within an hour. Even that, or Jack didn't say they were together, which is even more strange. The house was a mile away. I'm telling you, that's some backcountry Mickey Mouse operation out there, in my opinion. Okay. First off, his autopsy and injuries did not support him being beaten, and clearly you are not well versed in law and or probable cause, as there were no evidence at the scene, etc. That would give them the grounds. They can't just go on hunches and thoughts, assumptions, etc. They have to follow the letter of law and have legal grounds supported by the law to act and do certain things. Clearly you know nothing about this area, or the OHP or SBI officers from the area are working on the case. You're right, all I know is they seem to not be very observant, practical, or what appears to be a diligent or operating in good faith with the victim and family from the start, which makes it way more difficult a year later. So no guess, I don't know how they operate. Maybe you have more insight on their tactics and motivations, Money? Last but not least, probable cause is if Jack shows up on the scene and mentions he came from that house as a friend whose concern would do, which is where Noah Presgrave, also known as the victim's cell phone, is. And if you're one of the first on scene and think it sure don't look like a hit and run, then let me start enacting, introducing common sense. We can start with new police in Jefferson County. Okay, whatever's going on there. Okay. We got Maria saying, sorry, but those shoes look clean as hell, in regards to the little screenshot from the video of Kane and Pressy's point of view at 10:40 p.m. Sunday night at the party, which I did in my video last night, where basically the shoes did look clean, and Maria agrees with it. Not even a drop of dirt on the rug. Rugs look very clean too. Hi, Warlock Raf, you are so good in covering cases. Good work, I applaud you. So big shout out to Maria Delgado, appreciate what they say. But yeah, I mean, everyone else that's watching, what did you think of that little screenshot of Caden Press's Hey Dude shoes? After what went on earlier on Sunday, going in a field, getting muddy or getting a bit dirty, grass in shoelace, did it look like that from the photos what we saw? It looked rather clean. Just the fact that the side of the white sole was pretty much white and not brown was quite interesting. Now I know, got to understand and acknowledge that the area itself would have been not wet, more dry dirt, so it may not stain or stick the same way on clothing, but still, a little bit of dust, a bit of coating of something, but didn't seem to be the case. But then again, depends how dry it really is. Got to try and balance it out. As for the shoelace, well, we couldn't see that. Jam sandwich. The shoe debacle is confusing. Caden sees 2 shoes, Jack sees 1 shoe, Donna sees no shoes. That's the best way of summarising it. In any particular order? Who knows? As for the timing of it all, Caden sees 2 shoes on Noah in between 5:21 to 5:30. Jack sees 1 shoe on Noah from Jack's timeline, 6 in the morning. Donna sees no shoes and a naked body. Timestamp? Don't know. And when it's meant by Donna sees, she wasn't there, but she's seen footage or so of the highway at some point. Beth, very telling to me. Those shoes were placed on Noah's feet, in my opinion. So both shoes were placed on Noah. One of Noah's, one of Caden's. Really? No offence by John, but Oklahomians are the brightest, honestly, and didn't really think out their stories, and without the local cops' help, this would have been very easy to solve. Definitely need some intelligent professional PIs on the case. What do you think of Sheriff Wilson's account from the highway scene in the People Mag article? I don't see all that, but best friend is on the scene and gives a statement says, we're all partying at this house, and he left the house, Noah, and this is next thing we knew. Then they needed to go immediately to that house and secure it. It's part of the investigation at that point. By 6-7, a cop should have been there asking questions with witnesses. I'm kind of being sarcastic in saying they're not intelligent, because it just seems pretty obvious when 175 pounds of flesh and bone get hit by a vehicle, it ain't looking like that. Under Sheriff Jimmy Williams was soon sent out. Sheriff Jeremiah Wilson joined him not long after, along with members of Terrell Volunteer Fire Department who secured the scene. What I want to know is, members of the Terrell Volunteer Firefighter Department who helped secure the scene, were they the same ones that were supposedly seen earlier on, caught on camera during that highway footage of tampering with evidence by the hands of another police person? Jam sandwich to Carl. This is just a small snippet. In quotes, this whole situation didn't sit well with me. He says, nothing the unusual inability of the scene itself to provide more insight. We've had people hit before, and we can recreate the scene and make it make sense, make it fill the gaps. The sheriff says, we've had unattended deaths, suicides, that the evidence always gives us the facts. We can always backtrack and recreate 99% of the scene. But did that apply here then? Next, an obvious question, which I don't know if it will get an answer, is, are any of the house owners involved group of 10-15 people there related to, or do their family members have any ties, sexual, money to the sheriffs that arrived? It is a small town, and land equals money equals persuasion, because all I'm reading in the statement is that it appears to be obvious. Something ain't right. What was their next step is what I want to know. Was it come up with a story with Jack Newton to roll with? Was it to contact the girl's family and work out an arrangement? Or what would have been done by 7 a.m. that morning and said, okay, where was this boy coming from, Jack? Who last saw him, Jack? Do you want us to help you find who killed this friend, Jack? Or you want to just settle on the easy, quick, let's buy some time, hit and run claim, even though we kind of both know it ain't? You mean the proper okie dokies from Stokey? What? Oh boy, all this language. Oh, another long one. Oh my god. Skippy says, I'm confused about the recent focus by some about Georgia's pickup time. I am open to all theories, but I don't understand the point with this specific topic. Is the point that somehow Caden is a bad friend because he didn't tell his mom that Noah wanted a ride home? Question. Noah was asking for a ride around 9 p.m. Sunday, within approximately 2 hours after arriving at the party. Besides calling his dad for a ride, who else did he ask? Noah later asked Caden, and others for a ride around midnight. So who else did Noah ask? We've never been told, unfortunately. Interestingly, the slap game happened around that time. Is this when Noah started drinking more and having fun due to the alcohol maybe? Or did something happen during the slap game which made him want to go home? But he then enjoyed playing beer pong, riding the side-by-side, showering, eating, and maybe teabagging in between, depending on if it's a true story. So it doesn't seem that he wanted to leave again until after the argument. That could well be the case. Maybe things weren't working out, or there was a bit of a rough patch and Noah felt, you know what, I can't be bothered with this. Or he felt, you know what, I was only going to be here for a few hours because, I've got to wake up the next day, or I've got to do things the next day or so, get on with stuff. So I'm limited with time. And then as the time goes on and the party continues and it becomes more fun and silly, maybe he's like, you know what, I've changed my mind, it's okay. And then later, well, no, it's all going downhill again. Victor, good point. Skippy, I have no answers, just a lot of questions, but that's fine. Always comes in with the best questions. Skippy is a Columbo moment. Ooh. This person, Skippy, it's because she was saying they were almost home with Georgia. That's not true. Melissa wasn't even contacted until almost 2 a.m. They have to get dressed, get together, and Alicia Lee has repeatedly said it's a 45-minute drive. In Caden's interview and screenshot made by Alicia herself, she says 3:15 to 3:20. So no way were they almost home with Georgia. She has given phone log which shows those calls. Caden says his mom's Camaro was taken. She says Melissa SUV. She says her 2:43 call was saying she was almost home with Georgia. That's impossible. More than likely, it was to say we're almost there at the highway. Even though it looks suspicious, I don't believe anything bad. However, it's showing how nobody's stories coincide. Jack's is more simple and accurate with timestamps. But Jack's isn't that simple, is it? If Jack is so simple, how come we've got Jack in the Box Jack, Jack of all trades, sleeveless with no cards showing, Jack shit, jacked up Jack, Jack off or piss Jack off, and then you've got Jack, the magical sleepwalking magician, that can make shorts appear in the middle of the road, or ends up sleepwalking but can still talk about lots of timelines, even though it's not from his point of view, but it might be, but it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's that simple all around. But at least from what I remember and what Caden Pressey had mentioned in his interview in the Partners in True Crime one, the public one, is that Caden woken up at 2:43. He first went off to sleep 2 a.m. 43 minutes later, woken up by the call. Now, granted, in some of my older videos, I called it 2:42. I was 1 minute out. That's all, okay? It's 2:43 from what was originally mentioned. And Caden said at 2:43, the call was from his mum, Elisha Lee, stating Georgia has made it back home. But from what we're reading here about Alicia herself saying 3:15 to 3:20, that's a lot later on. So why would Caden be saying it was 2:43 when Georgia actually made it home, when supposedly onwards things were still underway? Hopefully we get some additional responses by someone. Skippy responds, so thanks for your response. I get that some people don't trust the pressies because of conflicting information, so they can certainly point to the info you provided to dispute their various statements. However, There have been quite a few posts and chats specifically asking why Caden didn't tell his mom that Noah wanted to go home, and there's an underlying intention by some to throw shade at Caden by asking that question over and over. We could ask the same thing about two specific other party goers, but in fairness, we don't know what discussions Noah had with them, or with other party goers about a ride home. Discuss the pickup timeline if that's the line of inquiry they want to follow, but I don't see the need to ask him about Noah's request since Noah also asked others. That's just my opinion, of course. I guess all I would say is, though, is it depends where Georgia lives and in what direction as well. It's okay saying you're going to take Noah Presgrove back home if there was a chance and if it was inquired by Caden to pass on to Alicia, but do they live in the same place, in the same direction? That's just one little question there. But more so, besides the questioning of why didn't Caden do this or say that to Alicia, at the end of the day, where Alicia or Melissa was when trying to come across Georgia, it was already down the highway so far down. So, and as what Alicia said, she did not go to the party, she did not arrive at the house, she was nowhere near it, even though Jack Newton supposedly worded it that way at some point. So by not being present at the house or party, there wouldn't have been an opportunity to pick Noah up anyway. And maybe by that time anyway, maybe Noah didn't want to go back home and he was okay at that point. Is there a small chance that maybe Caden may have considered or was going to reach out, but then Noah said or Noah indirectly showed that he didn't want to leave, so there was no point in following it up? If Noah was having a good time, well, then there was no reason for Caden to ask Alicia for Noah to have a lift back home, possibly. Just a suggestion. CC, Skippy, it's because these idiots actually tried to repeatedly put Alicia, Pressy, and her sister on the highway where Noah Presgrove was struck, as though they were the ones who hit him. Ah, there we go, yeah. Alicia Lee's timestamp from getting Georgia was 2:43. The rollover picture timestamp was 2:41. Yes, so there's no way, unless they were all lying about what transpired after the rollover. There we go. I think you have a good point. I know about Caden being a bad friend. It was just in the moment. Tree, but reference to Columbo. Okay. Okay, I think the line of recent. Okay. Comments. Oh, there we go. We got Justin Roy. What does Justin say? Noah didn't plan on staying that long to begin with. Once he couldn't get a ride home, I think he just made the best of the situation, in my opinion. Okay. A certain group that didn't think it was murder seemed to try to put the blame on Caden Pressy and Elisha Lee, like they did something to Noah. But wouldn't that insinuate a murder, though? I've said from day one, someone from that party knows exactly what happened to Noah. I stand by that. I mean, yes, it's interesting thoughts, because depending how you interpret it, I do remember Justin leaving several comments previously about whether that be towards Brooke or somebody else on the dark side, that, because now you're calling out Alicia, or that you're suspicious of what Alicia has done or said or Caden, that must be interpreted that you basically believe that they're responsible for Noah's death, hence a possible murder of some sort. Well, that's jumping in at just a little bit too far. I mean, some people could be suspicious or wary of Alicia and or Caden, but not as in murder of Noah, but an accidental death. Still along the lines of that, but people covering it up. Those you would be surprised or shocked to know who could be. But maybe we look at that closer another time just to make sure there's no misunderstandings. What else do we have? Victor, 55 minutes ago, so it's fairly recent. More on the subject, all these times have me confused, lol. So we'll keep it basic, always confused. Why didn't Noah just ride with Georgia or get a ride from Caden's mom? Well, Caden's mom wasn't at the house or near, so it wouldn't be possible. As for Georgia, unless they left at a time when Noah wasn't aware or wasn't nearby. We've got Spencer, welcome. Vegetation like grass and plant species in different locations. Not all grass species are the same. You have different types of certain areas. Cows grazing grass, for one, fair enough. How do I know? My uncle's farm in Barony Farm College. Okay. What stage would a wheat field be in Terrell, Oklahoma around early September? Oh, sorry, another question. Warlike Raf has shared map analysis and we have seen cows and ponds. Yeah. What would be the typical grassland cover for the area? Live in Scotland. Oh, do you know what? I'll just do a Scottish accent right now just for the sake of it, because I think Popsky said he's from Scotland. Well, I think I've got that right, so it gives me a chance to try and do a different accent for once. Spencer, with a horse in the profile picture. Hi there, I live in Scotland, United Kingdom. The vegetation rules would be the same, different grass and plant species in the USA. Would be the end of August or September. You would need to Google it. What you doing? Get out of my swamp, donkey! There we go. Still needs a bit of work. Interesting. The most I do with plants is I look at my zone information that comes on the plant and then it usually dies. I'm not great. Oops. Scottish barony was an estate of land held directly of the crown of the Prince Great Steward of Scotland. Barony means the domain, rank or dignity of a baron, vast private landholding, a field of activity under the sway of an individual or special group. You go quite fitting for the case. See, I'm kind of transitioning into a Scottish Indian person, or according to the professor, Google planting, farmers plant the winter when it's very early. Usually between September and November, wheat planted for grazing is planted early in August, September, wheat planted to great later. Oh, bloody goodness gracious me, we're growing wheat all over the place. 6 inches before the first rust. How dare you touch my wheat? Naughty little boy. It's been taking a lot of time. It's been dormant over winter and months. Wheat grows as quickly as the worms blaze up. Plant produces more leaves. Thank you. Have a good day. Let's move on. At the beginning of all this, didn't someone state that no shoes would be worn in the house, that all shoes to be left at the door? I'm not too sure. I do recall a comment about no shoes were to be worn in the house. Really? I've never heard that before. What do you think, Raf? Here we go. Alicia Lee, Caden's mum, says Caden's shoes were obviously on his feet. Yes, we can see. On the carpet, when he was taking the snap video of his cousin in the dining room, there was a young man lying on the couch with his shoes on too. Yeah, that's true as well. Okay, so maybe the rules did not exist in the first place, or some people just didn't follow them and just continued wearing shoes. But still, it's interesting, Caden's shoes, the condition that they were in, they looked rather clean. Skippy. I've asked this before, so I'm asking again since we're on the topic of shoes. Was Noah's other Adidas ever found, and if so, who has it? I'd think Ellie would want to compare the debris found in the shoe he was wearing with the missing Adidas and with Caden's other Hey Dude shoe, which I guess is at home. The shoes he was found in may have debris not found on the other shoes. Sand, gravel, pit types of debris, other type of gravel, not from the party house, debris from truck bed contents. Since it's been suggested he crawled into one. DNA not found on the other shoes. I know it sounds far-fetched, but there could be evidence, so why not do a comparison? Fair point. Even Justin says, great point. Yeah, I mean, I understand what's being referred to here. Ellie gave Adidas Noah wasn't wearing along with some other items to his mom at the time. That's only her saying. So, what Skippy is getting at is, basically, yes, Caden may have had grass in his shoelace, both left and right shoe found on Noah, hence why there's grass in that on Noah. Not directly to say that it was because of Noah, but more so because of Caden earlier, and the grass remained in the shoelace. But equally, if there's chances are that Caden was walking about during the event earlier Sunday, which Noah attended as well, there's a chance that Noah may have gotten out of the vehicle as well, hence grass in Noah's left shoelace and also right shoelace. But what about Noah's other Adidas shoe, the right shoe? At what point did that disappear and was taken away? At the time of Noah's death, shortly after his death? And if so, if he used to use that specific shoe, if it was ever to be found, what DNA, what additional items would be on that one exactly? And furthermore, comparing Caden Pressey's right Hey Dude shoe, which not only had grass but other debris in the lace, compare that right shoe of Caden's, which was found on Noah at the highway, compared to Caden Pressey's left shoe, which was only worn earlier on and never touched by Noah nor put on Noah at any point. How would Caden's left Hey Dude shoe compare with the right shoe, which was later found on Noah? Does one have additional contents of evidence DNA compared to the other? Because if so, it could reveal a location as to where it took place and maybe when. So, yeah, it's good. Welcome, Anna. But Caden wasn't doing the same activities as Noah. He was post-op. Jam, the most activity I've seen from publicly released videos is Carter punching a board. How about you? What I meant was he didn't participate in the side-by-side incident rollover and wasn't running around butt naked. I don't remember that one. I believe it was a video taken on Saturday on the porch. Yeah, so we have seen that, but it's just like all over the bloody place. I'll get the clip of it so you can see it yourself. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I'll try and get it. Hopefully there's no copyright or any of that BS. Depends if someone's got an agenda against me. We'll see how that goes down. But in terms of Caden getting in and out of a vehicle, maybe walking about, possible, maybe. But why would they be walking about in a field anyway? Why? Why did Caden even make that pic of him wearing those shoes? It's a pretty boring photo to take a look at a party. It's not a picture though. I mean, I've explained it, whether it be in the same video or a previous one. It's basically Caden doing a little video of the party, people in front, all about, including Georgia more so, to then share with Alicia to say, hey, Georgia's here, but she is okay, she is safe, you don't need to worry. Alicia says it's a screenshot passed around from the video he took. Exactly. Alicia says, and we saw this earlier, but there's some additional responses. I did not delete this comment on Facebook about what I said. I'm not in those Facebook groups anymore, but it was not deleted. George Choden says, so where did it go, the comment? Only the admin can make things disappear, as they've regularly done so. Best ask where did it go and why, so one can remove their own stuff or admin can remove it for you, or OHP did it, who knows, right? Justin responds to Carl, he's being a smart ass. So basically Justin is calling George a smart ass. George don't think Noah was murdered yet, thinks Alicia and Caden had something to do with Noah's death. Wouldn't that insinuate a murder? This is the manipulation they do. And George says, who knows, but it's gone. The comment, somebody decided to remove it. Now it becomes all about why and or by whom. Alicia responds to George, I have no reason to delete my comment. I did not. What I said is what I meant. Robbie Taylor asks, Alicia, 42 minutes ago, so it's recent. Yet there is a screenshot of your reply missing. Whether it was because you blocked a lot of people, left the group or deleted it, doesn't matter since it was still gone. And Alicia says, no, it doesn't matter, but it was said that I deleted it and I did not. Well, I didn't directly ultimately say that Alicia has deleted her own comment, but I did suggest the possibilities and the others on top, and we can get into that a bit later because language and wording is important. Mongoose, where's Noah's shoe he left behind? That's a big question. We've got Sunny there. Shout out to Sunny for her support recently. Appreciated. AJ, he continues to state in videos that the grass and debris was in shoelace, but the autopsy states the grass and debris was inside the shoes. I think that's a minor differentiation. Keeping all facts accurate in a case is important, even the minor details. So we know the attitude by AJ Williams by now. Just like how AJ was referring to an incident when it should be more so referred to an accident when you look at the definition terms. But it did mention about shoelace inside of the lace inside of the hole, which goes into the shoe, which what I was referring to. AJ Williams, it's just simply a language barrier which you're having with me. It does happen with people from the US to the UK. It is what it is. Glenn, keep on it. Will do, even if other cretins whine, I'm still here. Crystal, welcome to the channel. Jack and a few of his friends did it. The girls know about all of them, jealous of Noah, but since none of them man enough to do anything, it took them all to kill him. I hope the police at least looked them over, because I'm sure that boy left a mark on one of them. He was fighting for his life. Eric says, I feel the same. Great video. Appreciate that, TJ. Shout out. Oh, Pinky. A different Pinky compared to the other one I mentioned earlier. So if Noah actually walked 1 mile without shoes, what condition were the bottoms of his feet, his soles? Did he walk at all? Was there gravel or mud or grass debris on his feet, or were they clean, like as they were directly carried off after being washed? Yeah. Some people asked that in the chat recently. I didn't wear shoes unless necessary. Who would have thought most public buildings in the UK, you have to wear them for 2 years? My feet were genuinely fine. Popsky says it's cold. Kind of, yeah. Hello, everyone. When they were riding, shooting animals, were they using Jack's AR-15? From what I've seen, the piece of equipment could make a scalp blow in the wind, just thought not an accusation, possibly falling from a bedroom truck. I mean, if Noah had been injured or damaged earlier on Sunday during when they were out driving, then Kane would have been a witness to it. Kane didn't mention anything about that, to be honest. And to be honest, later on, going into Monday morning, we've seen Noah alive and fine, so I don't think it would link there in that sense. But, you know, some of those guns or weapons, what we've heard of, AR-15, the hunting rifle, the 12-gauge shotgun, some of them could have been used during the shooting of the animals. Carl says, hi bro, thanks for donating so regularly to keep Warlike Ref rolling into prominence in the future. I think he will get thanked for keeping the case alive and up front and centre. For sure, even if one person donates £1, $1 a day, that's £365 a year, or half that, and everybody did it, he'd not only live pretty okay over here, but spend more time doing what he's made to do. He's a machine. So that's very good of Popsky with the comment, appreciate that. Lol, so you're a fellow UKer. Where do you live in relation to... What's going on here? I know Popsky said he wants to move in. Oh my god. Wait, oh, I'm from Cornwall. Wait, did I say Scotland? Oops. Oh, Popsky. Got mixed up with the bloody places myself. That's a good start by me. I'm not sure where he lives, to be honest. Tried quizzing him a while ago. I live in the ocean, okay? I'm Aquarius. But in Cornwall, have been wondering more since we found out, what's that got to do about Sharon? Poor Sharon, leave Sharon alone. Gotta calm down. You're in the US, I'm guessing, or a real early bird, it's now. Okay, wondering why now, lol. I mean, if people didn't know, Sharon actually lives on Mars because she's so out of this world. Anyway. What else do we have? Gonna grab another hour. I can't do a Cornwall accent. I don't even know how to do that. So for some reason, I did a Scottish one instead. It's probably because Popsky said he was in Scotland at some point. So that's what came to my head first. Oh, well, never mind. Another major storm coming. That's true. Tomorrow, I think. In some areas, it's worse than others. Going to be a little sleep for a few days. Let's keep Warlike Raf going strong. You seem like a real nice guy. Appreciate that. Well, yeah, he's actually referring to somebody else. But yeah, shout out to Popsky. Yep, there we go. Yeah. Oh, one day at a time. Shout out to them. I got mixed up with the profile picture because it was like same colour tone. Carl, a lot of people here I've never seen before. Welcome. Have you been following along for some time, just commenting or new to the case with Raf? Yeah, there's been a handful of new people that have come on in or commented, which is good. Some people may hold off for some time because they're just not ready to leave comments, which is fine. And, you know, for everyone else that just watches in the background, keeps quiet, that's all good as well. You might be able to take more in as well, without getting caught up in the other stuff. I have a Ford Ranger pickup truck, 2008. They don't have any side-by-side Rangers. Well, that's good to know. I did look at some photos afterwards, and that's true. It's just a language and word at time by other people. Another great video. Have to finish the chat analysis. Okay, take care. And there we go. Got some other important points. Justin, at the timestamp of my video, commenting about, when did that supposedly change? The golf clubs have never been found. Noah's mom does not have them. She said so. The thing is, whether it be directly to do with the golf clubs or more so the other items of Noah, more so, there was that random guy, and it doesn't sound great, does it? But there was a guy online claiming to be an ex of Noah's mom, about items being passed on. You'd have to look back at one of my previous videos. Maybe I can find it, Justin, and I'll show you about it. It's been said recently that Noah's family is lying about his belongings being returned to them. It was also said Noah's mom stated she took the clubs from his truck a day or so after he passed, and that she was given by Ellie his other shoe along with other items. The latter part was said in response to a comment under one of Wallach Rast's videos. This is her saying, in my opinion, because I haven't seen or heard it directly from Casey. Alicia, I never said Noah had shoes on walking around. I don't know if he had shoes on. But it could be interpreted that Noah may have been wearing shoes like how Caden was and other people, especially if they were to be walking about. I know there's no indication or evidence to say that Noah did get out to be walking around in the field, but if someone like Caden Pressey can walk about in the field who's not as mobile as Noah, you think the chance of Noah being out would be more likely? I've noticed since following this case, some people make comments then quickly delete them. It happens during Wallach Rast videos and in live chat too. I know it does happen, doesn't it? If a person was to leave a Facebook group and block it, would their comments still be visible? Maybe not. I've not been on Facebook much, right? I don't really communicate there, so I wouldn't know for sure. But it's worth highlighting the possibilities in between. As for YouTube, yeah, I mean, when I see comments deleted, as in message deleted in the live chat, I think that might be because the person deleted it themselves. I mean, I've spelt something wrong or mistyped, so I've deleted it manually, my own comment, and then it said, has been deleted. So that might be what other people are doing, possibly. If not, well, then it must be YouTube censoring people. I know there was a recent video of mine when I went to the comment section, and there was lots of comments and replies that were hidden, and there was no way I could reveal them. It was so stupid. Don't know what YouTube's doing there. And then we got Potsky once again. So we've catched up with the comments there. That's all good. Okay, so to refer to what we've looked at today, it's basically like a bulk amount of some screenshots, conversations, points made. The odd shocking one by Pam in reference to Alicia Lee being called the B word, but also bad things could happen and more, whether you find that shocking or not. Of course, Alicia Lee can share her responses down below if she wants to. But just to share my point of view in regards to last night's video and the mention of her comment being deleted, apologies if it was worded as she did it herself, as in that's what was mentioned in the description or somewhere else, but at least how it was presented to my knowledge was important deleted comment found. That was the title of the video. It wasn't worded as Alicia Lee's deleted comment found. Alicia Lee deleted a comment, but we found it and we've got the archive. I didn't word it like that. So we'll just make that clear as for the title of the video. In terms of how it was addressed within the video, though, saying supposedly it's been deleted, at the end of the day, if it was once there, but it no longer is, and Alicia has never deleted it, well, if it's true that it's no longer there, it can also be true that Alicia didn't delete it herself. If things have happened in between where an admin, moderator may have removed it, or possibly it being reported and it being auto-deleted. See, at the end of the day, the term deletion, deleted, is when something is removed and there are no more traces of it. It's just gone from the face of this world. That's why some people use the term self-deletion instead of the term suicide. You get the idea. Something can be manually deleted, such as by the person that made the post in the first place. Something can be manually deleted by a moderator. If it's automatically deleted, that could be the system itself or Facebook taking some kind of action. But normally, and it depends, if it's a part of a thread and a comment is deleted, no other things are affected. But if the original comment as part of a long thread was to be deleted, everything below that in response to the original comment that was deleted ends up being removed as well. Hence why when Kenny Veach made a comment online in the Kenny Veach case, but back in 2014 before going missing, about announcing he's found a cave, it's got vibrations. He mentions that on a YouTube video. It's the most liked comment on that particular video. It's got millions of views, 530 likes on Kenny's comment and hundreds of responses. Kenny's original comment was deleted and the whole thread was automatically removed as well, because If it's all tied to that one comment that's deleted, it will all go at the same time. I think with Alicia's comment, it was within a different thread, so it wouldn't have been impacted. It wouldn't have taken down all the other responses. But yeah, if Alicia had blocked anyone, maybe the comments just weren't visible for some people, meaning the comment's still there, but by those that have been blocked, they would just not be able to see Alicia's response. Right? So the person that passed on the screenshot to me could be blocked by Alicia. That's one way of looking at it. And if not that, the only other possibility would be, because Alicia is not a part of groups anymore, when you leave a group, your comments get deleted as well. I find that hard to believe, I'll be honest with you, but I just don't have enough experience on Facebook. So if anyone does know any additional possibilities, you can always list it below. But I do think the terms and words are important, just like how we had the debate of, was Caden's interview hacked or was it leaked? Was Alicia's comment recently deleted or not deleted whatsoever? Well, if it's no longer visible to some, could be because they're blocked by that user, so they can't see comments anymore, just like how it is on YouTube. If it's a matter of blocked or not, the comment is no longer there, but Alicia is telling the truth. And to be honest, there would be no reason for Alicia to delete her comment anyway, because maybe, just maybe, there are some older comments in the past which some people could say are more questionable, but they're still publicly viewable. I mean, just to measure it, to put it into perspective, those people that had that screenshot of Alicia saying, well, we called OHP or we called police at 6 in the morning, and it's like, what? Because Caden said he told his parents, Alicia, father, at about 8 in the morning onwards. Other people made a reference saying, oh, well, what Alicia meant to say, or what she corrected in her follow-up or response, was after 6 in the morning. And people still find that suspicious till this day. Other people. All I would say is, and the reason why I'm bringing that particular comment up is that still public? That comment, that response by Alicia of 6 in the morning calling police about Noah's death. Even if it was a mistake made in terms of wording and language, is that comment publicly viewable as of right now? You'd need to try and monitor that if there is a group that Alicia was part of at one point and left comments and replies or post, that if she had left, are those comments still there? Because if they are, well, then they should be for this other page where it's mentioned about the shoe situation. It's about putting it into perspective. So you'd have to try and look into that maybe. But, you know, to refer back to like some of the earlier points of what we looked at today, those other screenshots from Jan's point of view, I guess it's kind of interesting in a way. I don't know how groundbreaking though, in regards to the case. Call out to George Choden once again. To be honest, at least my encounters with Jan Fiorillo have been positive, neutral, no issues there with Jan whatsoever. They've been a good individual towards me and the channel, no issues there whatsoever. As for, you know, when you look at it firsthand, first impressions, and at least at the time of Jan's offer, seemed like a good thing, it could help. And then from some people's perspective, it kind of peeled away and went downhill because of those other screenshot conversations about creating an non-disclosure agreement or testing the NDA with certain people in a small coven to do with testing it and using Robbie, what's the last name? I forgot the name. Robbie, but calling them Jose, whatever you want to call it, right? And some other little bits and bobs. I won't remember all of that because it's messy and there's a lot of words, and I'm more likely to remember direct things within the Noah Presgrove case, or at least do better there. I know some people could say, well, these convos and text are drama, petty, does not help the case, but it's in line with the case because it's individuals that have tried participating in the case to help, and or people that are talking about the case to try and make sense of it. So it's still relevant, and it's important to see people's mindsets, what they think at this moment in time or what they once did. See different sides which you normally wouldn't check. So there's a backstory to it all. But anyway, just to cut through all the darkness, because it might be quite tense. I don't know if there's a lot of drama or arguing in the chat. Who knows if anyone's been a bit naughty. But I would like to just cut aside and just do a bit of light-hearted stuff. So we just put aside the Noah Presgrave case just to the side, transition onto something just brief. So there was mention of Huckleberry, that term. So it's like, well, be your Huckleberry, man. Is that so? Tombstone, look at a certain scene and clip. I mean, I saw it. I saw the person with a dodgy moustache. I don't have any hair now. Well, on the face, as you can see. It'll change up there. Am I anybody's Huckleberry? What, up for the job, up for the task? Oh my God, it's going to be putting other people out of business. What a shame. No, I am not your Huckleberry, but I am your Whipperberry, okay? Hope we made that very clear. And if there's any confusion, I will reiterate that point with immediate effect, okay? So you don't need to worry whatsoever. No, Beauty Garumo, don't worry. This is not an ASMR video. It's fine. It's safe. It's okay. But I'm sure Brooke Bounds Carter is screaming at the screen, wondering why her horse is here. Well, Brooke Bounds Carter was the one that was going to talk about horse riding sessions, teaching one, how do you ride a horse? How do you really get a good grip and understanding of riding something? Okay. Some other people wanted to ride this and that, and Cleo wanted to ride me. Well, last time I remember, I'm not a horse. Well, I don't think I am. But, you know, we'll have a quick look at the horse over there, wearing a cowboy hat as well. Very interesting. So just give me a second. I'll just go and fetch the horse. Come on, Brooks horse. Come on, Brooks horse. You're not going to move? You're not going to move? How about I pay you off? You want me to pay you off now? Oh, you've got enough money already? Good for you. Okay? Oh, you can give me a second. Give me a second. So the last time I did something like this, the odd individual online that has got an obsession with me created a conspiracy that because I talk to horses that I am a psychopath. So that's very interesting. Hello, horse. Oh yeah, you look a bit pissed already. Great job. You been breaking any social laws? No, you've been a good individual. Okay. So what do you think of Brooke Bounds Carter? Does she look after you well? Yeah. Do you get paid off to keep silent about being given hair transplants? Oh, naughty, naughty. It appears like you've not got as much hair as usual. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think what Brooke did, gave you a haircut and then donated some to me. I know, don't worry. I'm sure we can glue it back on your head. It'll be fine, don't need to worry. The real question is, you look a little bit rough and rugged around the edges. Do you want Beauty Garumo to give you a makeover? Yeah. There we go, calm down. So we've got that sorted. And as for the hat, I don't know why the horse was wearing the hat when it should be me wearing it. And weird dangly object in between. Give me a second. Oh no, have I turned into Tombstone? No, but this horse will be becoming a tombstone once I sit on it because it's already a bit deflated already, mate. I think I've crushed it slightly. But that's fine, it's fine. And as well, if it's not been introduced yet, because I know it's not always that clear, Brooke Bounds Carter, also known as BBC. BBC, welcome to BBW. Okay, big black whip. Is that used on the horse? If it misbehaves, all within reason, don't worry, won't be any marks left. Anyone that's joined late to this live premiere in regards to the Noah Presgrave case, just be sure to rewind back to the start. At the moment, we're just doing this to break through any darkness which may have come out of tonight or in the chat. I might be a mind reader or I might be too ahead of the time. So, people questioning if I can ride a horse or not. Yeah, man, whatever. I know Tim Daniel. It's not looking too good, Tim, is it? Because the camera angle's going to drop down, and we know what happened last time. Oh no, is Warlight Raph going to do another demonstration with the black shorts? No. I'm not wearing shorts this time, man. Not at all. Just lower it down. So what makes it really interesting is whilst we've got the horse riding session, we've also got the lion in the background. So if there's any wild cats about that want to ride the lion, well, you can if you want, but I don't think it'll be the same experience. So the last time I did this, I looked absolutely fucking stupid. So you got the horse, the bed's about to break. I'm about to break the horse. Broke back horse matrix. Okay, so you ride in the horse. Great, isn't it? Yeah, great time. Is this how you're supposed to do it, Brooke? Is there any special techniques or abilities? You don't want to be like falling off the horse. You've got to get a nice firm grip to get the speed up. Where's the thing gone? Come on, horse. Come on, Brooke's horse. Get a grip. Keep going. Yeehaw. You see? All under control. Yeah, okay. The only other way of possibly doing it, but then again, I don't know how effective it is if you do it the reverse way, if you ride the horse backwards, but I can't see what I'm doing. If I like this, I can't see the horse's head. Okay, it's a nice seat to sit on. Maybe I'll use it next time when I do a video. But as I'm riding like this, I can't see what's in front of me. I could go right into a tree. I could crash into anything. So, you know, it's got its purposes. It's got its practicalities. So, there we go. And the only other thing that I've noticed is, if you was to ride the horse... Sorry, it's a bit too low down now, shit. If you used to ride the horse, to be honest, there's not much hair. Not much hair to grab onto, okay? Even the tail, there's just not much hair to grab onto in case you lost the reins. I mean, to be honest, I've probably more hair on Sharon's head to grab onto, to be honest. Probably Sharon could donate some of the hair onto the horse. But with that all being said, I'm not Woody from Toy Story. I'm not made out of wood. Well, I think I am. But I think that'll do for now. Who knows what will happen? If there are any issues from this video, well, there might be adjustments, and if anything dark does happen, it'll probably be obvious, won't it? We'll see what happens next and what video that should be covered next time round. I'm just trying to catch up on these loose bits of material and make sense of it in the moment. So hopefully you found the video somewhat interesting. If you want to hit the like button or the thumbs up, that'll be appreciated. And I'll see you tomorrow or the day after, whenever the next video comes. My name's Warlike Raf. Goodbye and good night for now.